weekend's best game ever, Monday night. I was in the building, dog. I had such a great weekend, yo. But we're gonna talk a little bit about that in a minute. So, you know how we start off the show. We do the what's going on around town. And before we do that, though, I am fresh. I gotta tell you guys, I am fresh off of happy hour at one of my favorite pizza joints. It was called Coal Fire, which is also out in Hunt Valley. I believe there's also a location out there in Ellicott City. But, that's my top 3 all-time favorite pizza joints in the DMV, for real, as of right now, because that list is always fluid and always changing. But every day, happy hour from 3 to 6, you get a half-price pizza, yo. So, I had to get my half-price pizza, and they had a discount on the drafts and wines and everything, and it was really good. So, I'm feeling good. I'm gonna be real colorful for you guys tonight.
More than usual.
More than usual, if that's possible, yo. But let's go just a bit outside the realm of sports. Something went down today that I thought was really neat, and not just in the sense of what's going on around town, but for the ladies. We had one of Baltimore County's own putting her own little stamp in history, representing for the ladies today in such an extreme, this is not your regular run-of-the-mill, oh my God kind of story. I mean, this is extraterrestrial.
and what's crazy is a lot of the thing that happens, but this has extra eyes on it because of a certain person.
Yes. So, for those who do not know, big ups, girl power, shout outs, and Mark, I gotta also dub this as the first come through of the night, right?
Okay.
Baltimore County alum Audrey Powers, who graduated from Mount DeSales in 1994, which I kind of feel like a certain connection from, because I went to Catholic private school. I graduated from Mercy in 97, so we was actually in high school at the same time.
Yeah.
So yes, Mount DeSales, and they're gonna be proud about this as well. Audrey Powers, she went to outer space today on Jeff Bezos's we call it vessel, rocket, what do you call it? The New Shepard NS-18.
Yep. The Blue Origin.
Yes.
Yeah.
And the aerospace company is Blue Origin. That's where they launched from. I believe they launched from Texas.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And you know what's so crazy about this, man? I heard nothing about this until today, which is surprising to me. Yeah, but you know what, man? When everybody was built, when we were all discussing, remember, what was it, a month and a half ago? We were discussing the race to the rocket ships for all of these little billionaire a-holes.
Yeah.
And I was just so over it at that point. But this hits a little close to home. Yes, it's still unnecessary and extremely crazy, but I mean, man, that's pretty freaking cool, yo.
Oh yeah. And after you sent me the lineup and it had this on it, I didn't know until you said something.
Yeah.
She's the VP of Blue Origin, that's in charge of maintenance and stuff. So she's gonna make sure that rocket is in good condition.
Oh, absolutely. She just made a shit ton of money, dude. She was the VP of this mission and of flight operations at Blue Origin. I'm kind of fascinated as to what, this kid took up, where it won. I mean, I know she went to Mount DeSales, but too, where did she go to college and where did she take up? And, later on, after the show, I'm going to make it a point to kind of read up on this girl, because, I mean, this shit, it's absolutely fascinating.
Oh, yeah.
At least it was to me. And not only this, But, and I gotta say again, Mark, I'm sorry. This is my first WTF of the night, dog. So this was a special mission because Audrey Powers got to go in space with the Captain Kirk, 90-year-old William Shatner. Mark, WTF.
Like the news hit, I think a week or two ago. That's when people first started finding out. It's crazy. 90 years old. Good on him. I would did you watch the whole thing live?
No, but I gotta shout out my homeboy John Champion because his pose, he was watching it as it went down. He was like, it was something to the effect of, "Oh my God, William Shatner, I can't even look at this." And when I gotta be honest with you, outsiders. When I read about this, right? Okay, and first of all, William Shatner has got to be the best looking 90-year-old there is out there. Because in my mind, just judging from his looks, I'm like, that dude's like 75. He's like my parents' age. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like legit. So my eyes popped out of my head anyway when I read 9-0. And then I watched enough movies. I didn't see Interstellar. I didn't see all that shit, man. So I know, I'm thinking about, I'm thinking about G-forces. I'm thinking about G-forces, dog. Can your 90-year-old body sustain the G-force? And I'm like, what the hell is he thinking? And if I was legit Audrey Powers, I'd be like, nah, man, you better not put his ass on this fucking plane with me. For real. Right, because he ain't gonna die on me, dog. You know what I'm saying?
I watched it live, and that's what I was thinking the whole time. I'm like,
oh my God, Mom, did you?
If this man has a heart attack, like on the way up because of G-force, oh my God.
Right. You have to be a scientist. You don't have to go to NASA to know that, okay? You know what I'm saying? And I think that was everybody's, shock value or, holding my breath moment. I mean, there were plenty of outsiders out there that was just crossing their fingers and holding their breath for Captain Kirk, man. But big shout outs. They left about 10:49 a.m. They came back safely. The voyage lasted about I think it was 11 minutes or something like that.
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah, so he made it. Big ups to Audrey. Big ups to William Shatner and that 90-year-old tough as nails body, man. That's just insane. And is this the last voyage? Is this the last space voyage that we got to deal with for today? For this year, I should say. Is anybody else planning on going out this mug?
Well, Bezos went up 2 months ago, so we could see another.
Yeah, this was the second year voyage.
Yeah.
For real. Yeah.
And I'll throw a little add-on WTF there. Jeff Bezos, man, the dude's rich. But the narcissism is real on this dude.
Right.
He's wearing a jumpsuit just like the astronauts, but he's not going up.
He's not going any freaking where, because he's not going to risk his freaking life.
And then, when the capsule lands in the desert, they have the crew come out and open it up and everything. There's family and everything to welcome the astronauts back. But Bezos is standing at the bottom of the stairs and, insists on being the first one to hug him back. I'm like, dude, let them come out. Let them see their family. Shit.
Oh no, you gotta make sure he was there so he could be part of the history. You know
what
I mean? That's all. That's in complete, narcissist fashion.
Must be nice to be doing that.
Insane. But just to have Baltimore County be a little part of that piece of history, man.
Yeah.
That was sweet. I gotta say that was very. I was pleasantly surprised to read about that. And big up to Audrey Powers. I'm pretty sure they're going to do something for her when she comes back, tomorrow or Friday or whatever.
Yeah.
I'm sure they will.
Oh, for sure.
All right, we're going to jump back into the realm of sports. Speaking about, out of this world, out of this planet, we had an out of this world performance of the ages career by our very own Lamar Jackson versus the Colts on Monday night. Mark, how impressed were you with the Ravens and Lamar Jackson with this epic come from behind win, man? I mean, they are literally changing the face of the Ravens, like, to me right now. And the pattern, everything. They breaking the mold. They doing all that.
They, yeah, man, like, and I texted you because, at the game, because it's funny, like, usually when your team's down big, third quarter or so, you're thinking, man, just got to look forward to next week, like, and I didn't get that feeling this time. You just knew Lamar was going to make something happen. And so, like I said, I was like, you better not leave this game.
Yo, I'm about to say, I'm going to stop you right there because I want to speak on that. I was out there outside. I was at the bank Monday night. What a magical night. And I've just been so blessed to be part of so many, to me, historical, wonderful moments this year, our first year back, like fully back from pandemic. You know what I mean? I had the game with the Orioles breaking the losing streak and whatnot, and then Monday night tonight, man, it's just been so amazing. But Mark, in the third quarter, I would say late in the third quarter, people were leaving in droves.
Oh, I believe
it. In droves.
Yeah, you can see it
in droves. I couldn't leave yet because I bought the very last second possible bid. You know, if you're a professional, you know that when their sign is up saying last call is at the end of halftime, you get yourself up 3 minutes. You get up 3 minutes before the half ends. You get your ass in line because you know that you are going to have that beer in your hand just as halftime ends, and you're walking back to your seat. So that was me. Okay, so I still had a beer, so I wasn't gonna leave, but I was able to observe. It was droves of people that were leaving. And I was out there with El Boogie, and I was like, this is tough, and this is what I say, this is what I mean by when I say, like, they had changed in the face of the Ravens and everything like that, because, people are like, we were really not, historically, if you want to look back, I don't care what you say, I'm being honest, we have not been a come-from-behind team.
Yes.
Mark, you know that. I want to say I keep it 100 with my guys. Good stuff, bad stuff. That's a negative. So, people were looking at that 19-point deficit, 16-point deficit, and be like, man, this, F it. This game is over. I'm going to go ahead and beat the traffic. You know what I'm saying? And I can understand that. But I'm telling you, Mark, when they got to that, that last, drive in regulation, right? Mm-hmm. When they got, they were probably outside the 10 or something at that point, or maybe inside the 10. It was around that. Like I said, I was at the end of my drinking, so I know that, we were in the red zone, and, I was outside watching on the screen because, at these points, I need to be able to see everything. So, I went to the big screen. There, if you know the bank, there's one spot there's a big ass screen where everybody congregates, when they want to watch, so you can see everything up close.
Yeah.
And everybody, it was so the tension in there was just so insane, and I was legit lit. I'm telling everybody we're gonna be okay, we're gonna be all right. You know what I mean? And I was like, in this situation, I was like, he has to hit Andrews, and I said across the middle, and he hits him.
Yeah.
Everybody's like, oh my God. From that point on, and this is when, I say change the face. You just believe and just know. It was like one of those, Peyton Manning type performances when you just know that even though, your team came all the way back and made it to this point, that they were going to win this game. They weren't going to walk away with an L from that stadium on Monday night, man. And I just, big come through for the Ravens. Big come through for Lamar Jackson, man. Big come through. What was it like for you to watch that game from home?
Like I said, you know, there's a lot of times you get to a certain point where you're sure like you're gonna lose, so you start looking for reasons to like what you see and look forward to next week. And I didn't have that this game. Like I just knew that they were gonna do something. You don't have that dread feeling. And what's really crazy is with you saying how people were leaving in droves. That fourth quarter, man, that arena, that stadium was as loud as it could possibly have gotten. The commentators on TV were talking about it. They were like, "This is the loudest it's been all night." So knowing that many people had left and it was loud as possible, that's even crazier.
Yeah. That's quite. I'm kind of surprised to hear that because, like I said, I mean the people that were leaving, and you know what? But that speaks to the energy. Like I said, I mean the energy in there, and they had to have felt it, man. I mean that was just such a wonderful come from behind win, and also fantastic performance on Lamar Jackson's part. You know,
and records on records. 442 new franchise passing single game record.
Yes.
85%.
Yes.
Lamar can't passing record.
Right. And I now had to say 90% of that from the pocket, yo.
Yep.
From the pocket. So, number one, when are we going to stop saying that Lamar Jackson is not a quintessential quarterback? When we gonna stop saying it, man?
I think he's gonna get that criticism for years still, but that's just because people don't watch.
You know what though, and you know that speaks to my next point. You know, I've been watching analysts and whatnot for the past 2 days, and I've been waiting to see because to me, when I left that game, I was like, man, that was the type of performance that you give. There is nothing that they can say to keep this boy out of the top 5, and goddamn it, the past 2 days, and they have not given him his props. And you know what? To me, I honestly do not know what else this kid has to do to get into that top 5. And I gotta say something, man. You know, I watched Stephen A. Smith today, and he did not put him in the top 5. I'm extremely disappointed in that dude, man. And you know what? I'm going to have to give him back. I'm going to have to give him back, you know. Because it's just, I mean, that was a career-defining moment for Lamar Jackson. It was. And you know what? There's a lot of teams out there, and I would have to say, like 90% of that league would die to have this guy, would be salivating to have this guy.
Oh, for sure. For sure. It was so career-making. Jim Irsay, the president of the Colts.
Yeah.
One of the most hated men in Baltimore.
Oh, yeah.
He said that it may have been the best quarterback performance in the 100 years of the NFL.
Yeah, John Harbaugh said it was the greatest quarterback performance he had ever seen.
Yeah.
That he had ever seen. Like, and I just don't, you know, when it comes to recognition, but, you know, we are who we are. We Baltimore. We are blue collar. We don't need the recognition. We just go get it done.
Yes.
You know what I mean? And you can, and that's kind of evident. You know, I know I think you text messaged me and you said something about, you know, Lamar's post-game interviews are absolutely the best. And the thing that I loved about him the most is that he was like, man, I was locked in. And it was like moving in slow motion, which was absolutely insane. Because if you was watching that game, that shit was, I mean, I think slow motion would be the last thing that you would describe when you was talking about that game, man. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and you know, like, that makes me think of a lot of commentators, and especially, like, former players that do commentary.
Right.
They talk about when you're in that situation, you slow the game down. And, you know, it's not about slowing the clock down or play on the field. It's mentally slowing everything down so you don't get ahead of yourself and just doing it just like Lamar did Monday night.
Yeah. And, you know, that's very good to hear because you want your quarterback to have that type of confidence, that type of control, especially when you're trying to plan for the postseason, man. You know, I mean, after watching these guys last night, if you're a Raven fan, even if you're a Raven fan, you can't help but be looking forward to the postseason. If you're a Raven hater, you already know. We is the type of team that you don't want to see.
And, it makes me think, like, all the criticisms Lamar has had through the years.
Yeah.
His rookie season when he took over after Flacco went out. And then the playoff loss to the Chargers and the playoff loss to the Titans. This is exactly what we've been talking about since then.
I was just about to say yes, sir.
Were those losses? Come on. Were those losses devastating? Absolutely. But without those losses, Lamar doesn't learn. Lamar learns. He puts it together, and this is the veteran. Now, veteran QB Lamar Jackson is. You there, Keisha?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay. I mean, he's putting it together. The guy's got it all.
I was just about to say, we know that, he had such an amazing beginning. I think the bar was set so high, and we kind of got a little. Well, I'm not gonna say we, because we've always been level-headed about this, which is exactly what Mark just touched on just now. But we were able to remain level-headed, but a lot of people got spoiled. I mean, we had people even as last year, Mark. We were part of some of those huge groups, and these are like tens of thousands of people, of Ravens fans. And people are saying that he's trash, or he's not as good as Joe Flacco, and you're just like, what game are you watching? And this guy is clearly, he's going to make mistakes. We had to sit through a growth process, a maturation process. Right now, some of those things, those crazy plays, some of those, risque plays and decision making, coming to bite him back in its ass this year. So, everything, I always think, I know that there's a process, and I'm always, wanting to be on the lookout with growth and how a player matures. Nobody is exempt from that. But I feel like, this year might be a career-defining season for Lamar Jackson.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah. But, and like I said, man, I was just really surprised that he has not been able to break that top 5 as far as quarterback rankings for this season. I'm not saying, all time or anything, but right now this season, I gotta say I'm surprised at that. So he didn't make it, and I think everybody knows this in a good majority of the top polls. I wanted to ask you, Mark, who are your top 5 quarterbacks?
How you want to do this? Like 5-1?
Yeah. I like that.
Hold on a second. Looks like the streaming software stalled, but I think we're live.
Okay.
Let me check something.
For this season, I'm saying, he didn't make it, and I think everybody knows this.
Okay.
In a good majority I think everybody knows.
All right, I don't know what happened there, but yeah. Okay, we're on.
Okay.
Sorry about that. Okay, so 5-1.
Yeah, 5-1.
All right. Let me bring this up. My number 5. I think it's a dude that everyone kind of, he's in the conversation, but there's so many other good quarterbacks that he gets kind of outshined, and it's a shame because his team is doing so amazing right now. Arizona Cardinals, Kyler Murray.
Yeah, absolutely. So that's your number 5?
That's my number 5, yeah.
Okay, let's go.
Number 4, dude got out of a bad situation, got put into a amazing situation, and like all the stories I'm hearing about how he just vibes with his coach is really cool. Over there in LA, you got Matt Stafford.
Okay.
My number 3, it pains me to say it because I have been a hater in the past, but I know he's your boy. Good old Tom Brady.
Bomb Trady.
Number two, you can't deny what they're doing up there is magic, and that's Buffalo Bills, Josh Allen, which means my number one is totally a hometown choice, but I think he deserves it, Lamar Jackson.
My man. Hey, you know what? I really like and respect your order. I have to say, Mark, yours has been out of everything that I've been observing over the past few days, the most original top five.
Thank you.
I like it. Much love and much respect to Matthew Stafford, who I think doesn't get enough credit for what he's doing right now.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people didn't expect him to do that well just because
we're new team and everything. Come on.
But
what the hell is Jared Goff doing? We don't know because they're losing.
They say him and McVay are like brothers. It's crazy.
Yeah. Alright, all right, here we go, Outsiders. We just heard Mark's, so I'm going to give, here goes Major Keisha's top 5 QBs. This is to me at the end of week 5. See, I think a lot of people have the problem of, when you start talking about top 5s, I think people's feelings of the sum total of it all gets wrapped up in there, which kind of messes with the ranking. I take this as a snapshot of this season. What is going on in the past 5 weeks that we have seen with all of these quarterbacks? I don't care how many Super Bowls you win, how many times you went to the playoffs, how many times you lost in the play. I don't care about any of that. I'm talking about what the hell is going on in this season right now. So this is my top 5. So, okay. So I struggled really hard with this one. I kept going back and forth, for real. So I'm gonna put them both on here at the number 5 spot, okay? And that is Dak Prescott / Patrick Mahomes.
Okay.
Okay, the reason why I struggle with this one because I feel like both of these quarterbacks are in the same position. Where some of these quarterbacks that I'm going to reference in the next 4 slots, a good majority of them are doing this on their own. I do not believe that Dak Prescott and Patrick Mahomes is solely doing this on their own on offense, and I think you might agree with me on that.
Yeah. For sure.
Because we all know Dak has freaky Zeke, and we all know, and I'm going to go ahead and say it, Patrick Mahomes would not be anything if he did not have 1, Travis Kelce, 2, Edwards-Helaire. We about to get the real deal this week, because they're not going to have him this week. I believe he's out this upcoming game. And without 3/C, I can't remember how I started that list, Tyreek Hill. These are all kick-ass supporting cast members to the lead character. All right, so I'll put them both at number 5. Okay, so number 4. I gotta go with Josh Allen. Much respect to everything that he is doing up there with the Bills Mafia. But I cannot put him ahead of Lamar Jackson. All right. Number 3, and this is where we start to get a little different. I have Lamar Jackson at number 3. All right. Right now, where he's at, as far as everything has been going, I have still seen a few moments where, in this season, where I know Lamar Jackson still has some maturation as far as his decision making is going. Okay, and that's to be expected. I mean, he's what's this, his 3rd, 4th year?
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah, so, he's still got, a lot of ways to go. So, yes, taking everything into consideration, I'm going to go ahead and put Lamar Jackson as number 3.
Okay.
Number 2, I gotta put the GOAT in at number 2, because, and he also has a a great supporting cast. But I had to say, similarly to the situation with the Ravens, they've had their share of injuries as well.
Yeah.
And Tom Brady still gets it done. Not only does he get it done, 4 or 5 touchdowns, still doing the damn thing with the injury. So, I gotta give him love for that on number 2. And number 1, I don't care what anybody says. Everybody would trade up for Kyler Murray.
Yes.
Everybody. And if you saying that you wouldn't, you are delusional and you're a homer. And I don't want you in this conversation. But everybody. There's nobody out there that would be like, no, I don't want Kyler Murray. This kid has, he has grown. And, he, to me, I feel like he's matured, faster, a little bit past that of Lamar Jackson. Because this guy was able to he was going from nothing. The A.J. Green this season, this was a plus. This was a bonus for the Arizona Cardinals.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? My man James Conner, I just recently dropped somebody and added him on one of my fantasy teams. And oh my God, did he earn this past week? He was able to gain all of these. I mean, he went from nothing and now he has a complete team. I feel like they still need to clean that shit up on defense because they keep giving up a lot of points. But there are very few people out there that's going to be able to keep up with that offense.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah. So, that's number 1 quarterback in the league, in my opinion.
He's got the Cardinals at 5-0. First time that franchise had
undefeated, dog. Yeah.
Since 1974 when they were still St. Louis.
Right. That was way before Denny Green. I don't even know. 74, I wasn't even born yet, so I damn sure wasn't paying attention to come on. And they are a legit, serious threat. I keep laughing and joking about it, but every year I get more and more serious. Man, if we could get a Cardinals-Ravens Super Bowl, oh my God.
Oh, for sure.
Oh my God. Could you? Yeah, I would drop everything, Mark. I'm telling you right now. I'm telling you right now. I would drop everything to be out there, and it's in LA too. I would drop everything.
Oh, it's at SoFi, yeah.
Yeah, and that's why they coming with that super hard lineup for the halftime show. But yeah, man, yeah. So there you have it.
The professor put his top 5 in the chat. I'm gonna give it to you real quick.
Okay, let me hear it.
Number 5, Sam Donald. Or Donald.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair.
4, Herbert. 3, Prescott. 2, Jackson. 1, Allen. And Herbert, man, he's another one.
Right, I gotta be honest with you. I do not understand the love that Herbert is getting. And maybe it's just I just really need to take a look. And that brings us to our next segment. We're gonna look ahead with the Ravens and the Chargers after we take this quick break. So you guys don't go anywhere. Thanks for coming out and listening tonight. But Mark and I got more for you in the second half with Just a Bit Outside.
Welcome back, Just a Bit Outside Radio Show, live on Facebook, on YouTube. Share the link, share the love. Speaking about sharing the love, real quick before we get into the next part, I just got to say, you were out there at the bank.
Yeah.
And on the chat here, we got Marquita McMillan, Mrs. DJ Delight. She was out there. She said that she lost her shit out there, which, I could see that happening. I know Jaina was out there. The women represented this week for the Ravens.
Oh, yes, they did.
It was all love out there.
And I got to shout out Jaina because everybody knows, and she knows, like, every time I go out there, we always hook up. This was the first time that we were not able to hook up. And I think it was because this game was just, like, so intense. You did not want to really move from your spot.
Yeah.
The whole game. I was able to hook up with a couple of people that were in the close vicinity of me, but I definitely did not get to see and did not get to bounce around like I normally do. It's because this game was hella intense, man.
Well,
but
if this one was hella intense,
a lot of our outsiders were out there. And a lot of our outsiders were out there.
Oh yeah, it was great.
Yeah.
Speaking of intense, though, this next week should be pretty intense.
Yeah, we were just talking about Justin Herbert a little bit in the past segment. A lot of people have been putting Justin Herbert in their top 5 as far as, QB rankings for this season. And I can respect that. I mean, Chargers do have a 4-1 record. And, I mean, hell, I will say, I was one of the people that picked the Chargers to beat the Raiders last week. I just, figured... I saw that coming. I like the matchup. Justin Herbert has been playing pretty good football.
Oh, sure.
But I do not believe that the Chargers have really faced a quarterback like Lamar Jackson in their first 5 games.
Yeah.
So this will be a good test for them. And also, I mean, if you look at the team stats, the Chargers, they like to give up points too. I think they are maybe 20th in opponents' points scored. Yeah, they like to, in the 4 games that they won, they give up on average of 24. Yeah, so that's at least 3 touchdowns right there. Lamar will take 2 of those.
Somehow they gave up 42 to the Browns and still won that game.
Right. I would say, I was just going to say, look at that game. So I think they won that game, 42 to 47, 42, something like that. Yep. So the defense isn't the strongest. We got a better defense. I believe we have a better quarterback. The Ravens are currently 3-point favorites over the Chargers. Man, I'm taking the Ravens all day. How do you feel about that?
Where is it? Is it here or is it LA?
Oh, it's at the bank. We're back at the bank, and I'll probably be back out there for real.
You got like 4 home games in a row.
Yeah, we got a nice little home stretch.
Yeah. You never bet against Lamar. I do think the Chargers have been playing really well. I mean, they've had some quality opponents. Their loss was to the Cowboys. Mm-hmm. They beat the Chiefs. They beat the Browns, which, Browns I'm still not entirely sold on, but they are one of the better teams in the league nowadays. But especially after such an emotional win for the Ravens, it's going to be hard for the Chargers.
Hard. And this to me is the most intriguing aspect of this matchup between the Ravens and the Chargers. We have a team that's on the road that has not lost on the road as of yet, versus a team at home that has not lost at home and historically does not lose at home. Yeah. So to me that's really that's one of the more intriguing aspects of the matchup. Also, we were talking about a more balanced attack in regards to the Ravens, right? Lamar, he's not just throwing on his feet anymore this season. He's putting them air miles out there, right?
Frequent flyer.
Yeah. What do you think poses the bigger threat to the Ravens' defense? The Chargers' air game, because we know Justin Herbert can throw the ball too, or their ground game.
MCL injuries.
Yeah. Let's talk about it.
I mean, the injuries have plagued the Ravens this season. It's not a secret, and people really rag on like Patrick Queen and Avery.
No, I'm sorry. Let me just stop you really quickly. Let's just take a little quick sidebar. When you said Patrick Queen, I saw an article that was like he was one of the biggest disappointments. My mouth dropped open of the season thus far. But I just had to throw that out there. But go ahead, Patrick Queen.
And Anthony Everett. And I think we're going to see the Chargers probably attack in the air and attack those supposed weak spots. You hope that the Ravens coach up. I mean, kind of like you. Like I was a little bit in awe that people were saying that about Queen. And, and Averett, didn't he get a huge interception the week before, and people were loving on him, and now they're hating him? Come on.
Yeah. But that just lets you know how, Ravens fans are getting dangerously close and delusional to Philly and Dallas fans, man. And I really hate it with my whole heart and soul, because I honestly believe that Patrick Queen goes out there and earns every game. He might not give you the big bang. Everybody, his presence is known. Is it not? I just don't understand. I don't know what these people. I'm just really surprised at that one in particular, because I know that there was a stretch of 2 or 3 games where we were consistently talking about this guy on the show. So
I think it's one of those things that stats don't always show the full picture.
Right.
He might not have the most tackles, but he's going to be in there in every single play.
Presence is known. What more do you want from this guy?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, so, like I say, we got 2 4-1 teams, 2 undefeateds, at home versus away. We said the Ravens are 3-point favorites. Mark, what's your prediction for this Sunday at the bank, 1 p.m.?
I think the bank's going to be rocking. I think the Ravens might, they're coming off a Monday night. Historically, Monday nights aren't too good to come off of. And they might be a little exhausted after that emotional win, so it might be a little catch-up game
difficult again. Yeah.
But I think the Ravens take it. Man, you talking about the Chargers letting other people score. I think it's going to be higher than I thought.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely. Take that over. Everybody, take that over. That's an easy money pick right now.
I'll say 41-27.
Okay, 41-27. All right, outsiders. My margin of victory is a little bit closer than that. If I was putting my money on this, I would actually take Chargers +3. But I do not believe they're going to beat the Ravens. I think the Ravens are going to win by maybe 1 point, 2 point margin of victory. I can't. I've had too many pizzas and glasses of wine to put an actual squad there right now. But just put me down, Chargers +3. But, the way the Ravens to actually win that game and to improve their record to 5-1, to continue to sail to the top of the AFC.
Sounds good.
All right, listen, we have gone, because it really was a lot to go on in the 4-1-0, and I love those type of shows where we really get to focus on what's going on around here for the majority of the show. But, before we sign off, we have to talk about the biggest thing. This was rippling through the Monday Night Football crowd, before the game started, while the game was starting, and that, go ahead.
I meant to ask you about that, on air.
Yes, yes.
It was announced,
yes.
An ESPN reporter broke it during halftime, or right before halftime, so I was gonna, did you hear, did you get notification? How'd you guys hear?
I got notification on my phone. I think a lot of people got notifications on the phone, because you can literally hear WTFs throughout the crowd. You can see people looking at their phones and stuff like that. And just to be able to witness like the effects of like social media and stuff like that, and technology, and how like when the media refers to things like rippling through the whole entire sports realm or universe that it is, man, you can visually see it in the crowds at the bank, which was wild too.
Oh, I'm sure.
And if you guys don't know what we're talking about, I don't know where the hell you've been the past like 4 days. But John Gruden, former ESPN analyst, former coach for the Las Vegas Raiders, had formally stepped down, resigned as head coach of the Las Vegas Raiders. And Mark, I guess, because I know you've been really following this, if you could just, I guess, give everybody a quick summary of what's been going on over the past 3 days. It's just been insane.
Well, it actually started on Friday, which I had initially written down as a WTF for the show. I didn't have any idea that it'd get this big. But, I think either the Washington Post or the New York Times or someone published a story Friday saying that, some emails had shown Gruden had talked negatively about the, I believe, the NFLPA president. And, some racist language in there, we shall say. And it's funny because, like anything that happens, conspiracy theories are flying. And, it was a story. It was big, but nothing was going on yet. And then Monday, the NFL forwarded emails to the Las Vegas Raiders. Mm-hmm. And it was emails related to the Washington football team investigation for their toxic environment.
Yep.
And these emails were incredibly damning. They, show more racist language, homophobic language, misogyny, and
he checked every box, you guys. If you come up with it, trust me, it's on the list.
Oh yeah.
He checked every box.
I mean, he called Roger Goodell a homophobic slur, which I didn't even know.
That actually made me laugh. I didn't know either, but I was like, well, that right there gonna get your ass fired because there's nobody out there that can insult their boss.
Well,
you're not exempt.
Maybe I didn't know this, or maybe I'd heard this before, but it didn't stick with me. But Roger Goodell has a gay brother, so
I did not know that. I didn't know that.
Right. So that's extra when you say it to him.
Oh man, he's special. He's so special.
The Raiders, I think they were probably going to fire him regardless, but he tendered his resignation Monday. Apparently, people were talking about it at the stadium there in Vegas. People were reporting to work and whatnot. The rumors had been flying, but within the organization, but it came to fruition.
Right.
It's crazy because in the off season and early part of this season, Carl Nassib has been a huge story in the NFL, openly gay player, and he happens to be on the team that this coach is called out for this language and everything.
Right.
And props to the Raiders organization. I have always said I despise the Raiders as a Broncos fan, but I will give credit where credit is due. They, Carl Nassib requested a personal day, a mental health day. They granted it to him, and the Raiders, for decades, have been on the forefront of progressivism.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But there's one thing I gotta say about this whole entire thing, Mark. I think it was like 650,000 emails or something like that they got over the course of.
Well, thousands related to the Washington football. I think there's 158 that they forwarded to the Raiders. Something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, but I believe the total that they went through was like 650,000 over the course of 7 years or whatever.
Yeah.
And some of those, I was wondering if any of that had to do with the Raiders, and out of all those emails, You didn't have nothing to say about that weirdo dude owner there with the freaky hair, and then that dude looks like, you didn't have not one thing to say about him, but you had something to say about everybody.
Yeah. You missed it because you're at the stadium, but at halftime they went to their halftime show there on ESPN, and of course they were talking about it. And then like the commentators, even throughout the course of the evening, they were talking about it and saying how stunned and shocked and everything they were. These emails were from the time period that Gruden worked as a commentator on Monday Night Football for ESPN.
Yeah. Man, and gosh, ESPN, they're just weeding them all out, man. They can't seem to get out of this. I mean, between this, Rachel Nichols, Sage Steele, Maria Taylor, this whole stuff, I mean, God, they just managed. They need to, I don't know what's going on over there. But very interesting timing. Very interesting timing. I'm going to tell you one person who's happy right now.
Who's that?
Urban Meyer. Because we have forgotten that his ass got a lap dance in front of everybody and was basically doing the finger dance with some co-ed down there in the Ohio bar.
Everyone's like, Urban Meyer all right now.
Right. Well, I think what was that meme you sent me? Urban Meyer news, John Gruden, hold my bear.
Yeah.
So, man, and I'll tell you what else. I bet we had a mass deletion, clean sweep of emails, probably text messages from NFL owners, players, and coaches from around the league after that shit dropped.
And, it's crazy, too, because the email, one of the emails in particular that was called out was to Bruce Allen, who was president of the Redskins. And if I'm being honest, I'm kind of pissed off that he's retired and no longer working for a team, because his ass needs to get fired, too. Fire him from retirement. Make him go to work at McDonald's.
I had this thought, one of the big things going on right now is the whole Squid Game thing.
Oh, God.
When something goes down like this, like in the case of John Gruden, instead of completely firing the dude, have them compete in a Squid Game for their job. I mean, have a motherfucker with a little pin, needle, and a little cookie cut, a little cookie printout, and have him chip away at that joint for $10 million for 10 minutes on national TV, and have everybody watch it and get their enjoyment that way. Maybe that will curb some of these people, because I seriously cannot believe that we are still finding stuff like this in 2021. I mean, no one has learned their lesson? We've had so many examples. How is this still happening? You've just got to be a special kind of stupid for me.
The stuff coming out of this is shocking, too. I mean, the language, all that. One thing I read was they took the Washington cheerleaders out of the country on a trip and for a photo shoot, and there was select, basically rich guys that had suites and everything at the stadium were able to attend this photo shoot. When they got there, the team crew, office, whatever staff, they took the women's passports, which fuck that. No, don't give up your passport.
Nuts? Right, that's
and the girls apparently felt really uneasy then.
Yeah.
And then during this photo shoot, they're basically having them go topless, and some women only wore body paint. And they were I'd be okay with this, except for there was fans there because they were invited.
Everything was totally shady and sketchy.
And Bruce Allen and John Gruden and whoever knows who's on that email chain started forwarding pictures of girls around. Man, that's so disgusting. Like you said, it's 2021. How does this shit happen still today?
I don't know. Like I said, we've had enough examples. We've seen enough people suffer consequences that, when you hear about stuff like that.
Yeah.
In 2021, I don't think you're shocked that it happened or this is that person's feelings. Just more so that, to me, this is still happening. People are still leaving receipts. I swear to God, I don't understand that. Man, do that off the phone, in person. Don't send an email. Go to the bar, have a beer, meet for tea, have a bagel. I don't care what you do, and just, that's how you do that. And even then, you taking a chance because a mug might be recording your butt. And then, you know, and also, if you're gonna be a person like that, you better be good to people, to all people.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because my first question was, what the hell did John Gruden do to somebody? That was my first question before everything started coming out. Like, man, he must have messed with the wrong mug, man.
Stuff with someone's wife, who knows?
Yeah.
Man.
But, man, I think we really went over the mark today, man. I gotta give my props to you, man. I really enjoyed chopping up with you today on these topics because it was such a great week. You know, it's been such a great week this past week. And we are really excited about next week because it's the most wonderful time of the year. I do this every year. We got basketball, baseball, and football all going down at the same time, man. We're going to be talking to you guys about the MLB postseason. We're going to be talking to you guys about the startup of the NBA season. And, oh, my God, you know, it seems like we can never start a season without talking about that flat earther Kyrie Irving. Ooh. It's insane. You know, we got a lot to talk about that. And, of course, you know, we'll be keeping it going with the Ravens and the gridiron. So, thank you guys for tuning in tonight. You know how we end this show. Baltimore spread love, yo. We are still in a pandemic. Wash your hands. Wash your ass. This is Mark. This is Major Keish. Thank you for tuning in tonight. Y'all have a great week. This is just about outside. Because it's the most wonderful time of the year. I do this every year. We got basketball, baseball, and football all going down at the same time. Man. We're going to be talking to you guys about the MLB postseason. We're going to be talking to you guys about the startup of the NBA season. And oh my God, you know, it seems like we can never start a season without talking about that flat earther Kyrie Irving. It's insane. You know, we got a lot to talk about that. And of course, you know, we'll be keeping it going with the Ravens and the gridiron. So thank you guys for tuning in tonight. You know how we end this show. Baltimore spread love, you know. We're still in a pandemic. Wash your hands, wash your ass. This is Mark. This is Major Keish. Thank you for tuning in tonight. Y'all have a great week. It's just about outside because it's the most wonderful